story that we're about to tell, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. But we want to tell you about a little bit about a part of our story. When you get as old as we are, it could take a long time to tell the whole story. So we're just going to narrow it down a little bit. It'll be 2 years, May 22nd, that one of our rental properties, which is west of here, was hit by a tornado. It was a trailer park that I had bought about 18 months previous to that time, and had done a lot of work and had just gotten it where it was doing well and kind of taking care of itself. And I was off in Arizona visiting my kids and grandkids and doing some fatherly work out there, remodeling a bathroom. And I got a call from Rose Pimentel, who goes to church here, and she was crying, and she said, "Bruce, the trailer park's gone." She lived there. I said, no, she said, "A tornado hit the trailer park." And I said, well, what happened? She said, "It's gone." I said, "What's gone?" She said, "The trailer park. There's no trailers left." And so I went to bed that night thinking, I'm going to have to call the insurance man in the morning. I'm not sure if my insurance is where it should be, but I hope it is. And I remember thinking, about half of my income is not going to be gone. We're going to have to rebuild. We're going to have to do all this. Nobody would, we really are thankful that nobody was hurt. I mean, there were some hurt, but nobody was killed. There's no loss of life. And I remember laying in bed that night in Arizona thinking, what am I going to do? It just so topsy-turvy. It changed everything. And it's like these words just came, it said, "Trust me." Now that was one of the first times that the Lord seemed to be using his, you can repeat scripture, but it's like he was saying, "Trust me with all of your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I'll make your path straight." And I mean, it was just like, the goosebump time. And it's easier said than done, because I had to fly home, and I didn't want to cut the trip short because I couldn't do anything anyway. Everybody said, police are there, they're watching it, nobody can vandalize. So when I finally got there, it was hard to believe, in that it's like that tornado. Somebody told me that the trailer parks have magnets on them, tornado magnets, and I almost believed it because it came kitty corner across, jumped here and there, but when it went to the trailer park, it went exactly up the center of the trailer park, and all the trailers on the right side were going north, and all the trailers on the west side of the road were going south. So it must have spun exactly up the middle. And I guess just seeing the devastation, it was beyond anything I'd ever seen before, and somehow, I mean, to think that you own it was just a hard thing to grasp. Wayne Thomas called and said that he had heard about our difficulty with the tornado, and that he had a group of people that wanted to come out and help clean up, and I didn't know what to think, because he said, "We've got somebody with a backhoe and some big equipment, and we're going to cut up trees, and we're going to try to get as much stuff piled up as we can." And then he said something that kind of, I don't know, how it jerks on your heart a little bit. He said, "People have told me that you're a man of God, and I want to honor you." And that just was so unusual that it still sticks in my mind. Well, then they came out and they did help, and they did a tremendous amount of work, and but there was still a tremendous amount of work to do and to be done. But I guess the thing that in hindsight, it has changed our path so much, because I needed to be up here closer to build a trailer park, but before we built the trailer park, we bought a house and had to remodel. We're remodeling that, and that's taking longer, and so on and so forth. But in hindsight, now I've gotten to know Wayne and at a much more intimate level, and now I'm part of his Kind at Heart Ministries board, and it was through him that we were introduced to the church here, and so it just seems like step, and we've met so many I think just wonderful Christian people, and have seen the Lord at work that I'm not sure, I never wanted to experience a loss, but as I've looked back and seen, I told Sena that we were going to have this story about the biggest loser, because I've had so many losses, it seems, in my life, but the Lord has always turned them around. And this seemed like one of the biggest losses I've ever experienced, and yet it seems like the bigger your loss, the bigger your win.